Who here remembers the Hunt for the Decepticons toy line? I sure do. It was one of my favorite toy lines for Transformers. It was released around the time that Revenge of the Fallen came out. A bad movie, but with great figures like the Leader Class Optimus. And Hunt for the Decepticons brought us a lot of good repaints. Repaints that we didn't really ask for, but we were very appreciative. We got a Jungle Bone Crusher, which was very nice. We got a new take on Ironhide. We even got a Leader Class Starscream, which is still a very, very good figure. One of the best leaders in recent years. And there was a certain Voyager figure, which I've always had a fondness for, but I was never able to obtain. I couldn't find it online, or cheap anyway. Today, the official goes for about $75. And so, when I found this guy, a very well done knockoff edition of him for $45, I picked it up instantly. This is a review for the Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Voyager class Decepticon Bludgeon. Now, this figure's received a lot of mixed emotions as people... Bludgeon was a pretender when he was first introduced back in G1. And he was a cool pretender because he was a Decepticon samurai with a skull face. You can't get much cooler than that when it comes to Decepticons, besides Thundercracker. And I think it's time that this guy deserves the recognition he deserves. I am Decepticracker, and I'm here to review Bludgeon. So, he is modeled after, if it's either a M1 Abrams or a Japanese tank. I'm guessing a Japanese tank, assuming that his robot mode, it is a samurai type of thing. But he's mainly molded in this dark green plastic for like a jungle thing. But then you also have this boring gray plastic, which I think they might have done a little bit better if they did black or maybe silver. He has some orange right here on the front with some black highlights. You have rubber treads, which is a very nice touch. Although they don't really move, they just go on these little wheels here. Rolling almost non-existent with this figure, but what are you going to do? It's a toy. So, for size comparison, here is Bludgeon. And here's a figure also from the Revenge of the Fallen line, Deluxe Class Barricade, a review coming soon. This is essentially the exact same figure from the first movie, but replaced with Revenge of the Fallen. Transformers did that a lot. They kind of repackaged everything. But, as you can see, in terms of size of a Voyager, he's about right. Assuming that, you know, the original Deluxes were a little bit bigger. But this guy has a pretty nice vehicle mode. He has a 360-degree rotating little gun, and his main cannon is also on a 360 on this very nice ratchet. I love this. I love ratchet joints as they're very solid. But, I mean, honestly, there's not really much else to talk about this tank mode. It's a little boring. Let's go into the transformation. I'm going to let you know the transformation is a little difficult. So the first thing that you want to do, well, I like to move that out of the way. So you come around here and unpeg the back sections right here and bring them out like so. Now this piece right here, this is different from this piece, as this will flip out a little sheath type of thing for a sword. We'll get to that soon. But those will just be folded and out of the way. Now that you have that, you can raise the panel up. Then next want to come around here to the bottom and loosen and unplug these parts of the treads. This also does the same thing over here on this side. like so. You can then take the leg bits, bring them out to the sides, lift up the crotch bit. You then want to rotate, and as you're rotating, now this is essentially the trickiest part of the transformation, is getting the legs to fully transform. Because what you want to do is, as you're rotating this, you want to bring these panels in, like this. But as you're doing that, you want to take the pieces right here and bring them to the side to form side skirts, all while bringing the leg down. It's a complicated process because I'll see if I can get a better angle to show you. You essentially bring that down and then fold it over here like so. So you have that. You can fold these bits out if you want. I like to have that way. It's more of a transformed kind of look. And see, this is the thing with the official figure also had very floppy when transforming. It can get a little frustrating. This guy had a very interesting and controversial transformation, as I believe he and Leader Class Prime are what started the whole dumbing down transformations. But anyway, you want to come around here to the bottom, open up this panel, and then fold out the foot like so. Fold out the heel, and that closes up very nicely. On the other side, again, just bring this out, fold the foot out, and close it up. And essentially you have the legs fully transformed, and you can see where the samurai bit's starting to come in. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is come around here to the top and split the top apart, like so. Make sure that these bits are out of the way, they can get in the way. Ooh, another thing, fold these little front bits in. You can do this with this one, and I will, to give it more of the aesthetic look of that the samurai armor was a little bulky. You then want to rotate and rotate down. Now the arms, they simply come down and basically unfold. You can then flip out the hand. You can then fold down this to form the shoulder pad. Same goes with this one. This just kind of unfolds like this, and the hand easily flips out. You can bring that to finish on the shoulder pad. We'll get the arms out of the way, because now, for the grand finale, you essentially just pop that down. And you can close his crotch flap. And there you have Voyager class Bludgeon in his robot mode, and I gotta say, this is one of the most aesthetically pleasing robot modes I've ever seen. I absolutely love this. The samurai-esque armor is just amazing, and the fact that he has a skull for a face, very reminiscent of the Japanese Oni armor, in which they were represented by demons. Now, he does come with two accessories, which are his knife and his sword. Where are they? They're in here. The back is actually a scabbard, because you see, you take this, you can pull that out, and you have this scabbard like this. And the barrel is his sword. It's made of this very soft plastic, so as you can see, it's very bendable. I guess it's okay for safety reasons, but what are you going to do? I'm not going to poke my eye out anytime soon. But that just slides right into his hand very nicely. And that just looks really good. He also has his little knife, or his little short dagger. And that can go into his sheath right here on the side. Or you can have him hold to it both. And I hold to it once, and I will do that for the sake of the video. I would always either have him holding the knife and having his sword sheath or vice versa. So for another size comparison, here he is. And here's another figure that's a little controversial. The Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Swindle from the Fall of Cybertron. And again, pretty good scale. You all know how bad this one is. I might review him and the other Combaticons that I have soon. Leave a like and put it in the comments if you want. But for posability, this guy's a little pretty limited due to how much bulk he has. Remove his accessories in terms of the articulation. His head is on a limited swivel, only looking left and right. His arms can move forward and back. You can get some upwards like that, but that's mainly for the transformation. For his arm, see, this is where this bit gets in the way. He has multiple joints, which is very interesting. Very skeletal, again with the whole, skeleton-esque theme. He has a armpit joint, which is very interesting. I guess that's to simulate the arm going in and out in the armor. He has not one, but two joints in his elbow. And he has, that, but that's also for the transformation. He has no waist swivel, as his waist is the main part of the transformation. And this is also when the whole Mecha Live thing was a thing. You have moving parts inside Transformers, so you have the, spoopy. His legs can go forward, and if you move his butt flap. See, that's another thing with this figure, is that the legs come undone very easily. They can move back, not that far really. They can go out. We'll close the scabbard for this. See, trying to pose him is a pain due to the way that his legs are manufactured. But his legs go in and out. He has a pretty hard ratchet at the knee. And he has a foot pivot. And that's pretty much it in terms of articulation with Bludgeon. I mean, in terms of, playability-wise, I'm sure someone will find a way to get this guy to be able to be playable and not just like, a stand piece. Because I find that he looks better as like, a stand or a statue. And third-party Transformers lines have tried to get him to look a little bit more samurai-esque with a more pristine face and better armor. And some of them did succeed, but it is what it is. So out of 10, I'm going to rate him a 9.5, a near perfect figure. He's getting half a point off of that due to the fact that this whole leg transformation is it can be very difficult for younger kids trying to get all the joints to not snap. This happened to me with a lot of the older figures. They were a little complicated for me, and it snapped. That's what happened to my Voyager class Starscream when I had him from the first movie. I couldn't get the chest bit. I didn't realize that the automorph, that's it, the automorph thing worked on its own, and I snapped some bits off. But this figure is near perfect. Besides this, he's honestly my favorite from the Revenge of the Fallen line. But 9.5 out of 10. This is the Transformers Hunt for the Decepticons Voyager class Bludgeon from Hasbro, and I'll see you later.